Here on Livingston campus, we have New Jersey's own state climatologist located in Lucy Stone Hall. I'm Jack McCarty for RETV's Weather Watcher, and we spoke with Dr. Dave Robinson about this past winter. We looked in to see if this winter was historical at all, and also what processes made this winter happen. All right, thank you very much, Dr. Robinson, for being with us today. So to start things off, in terms of atmospheric processes, what happened this winter?
It's been a really interesting winter, to be sure. It's a lot to do with the jet stream pattern. That's been very wavy, very pronounced jet stream pattern going back from Thanksgiving up through February. And sometimes we've been underneath the ridge. The jet has run to our north, and that's given us shots of mild air before Christmas, mid-January, around Super Bowl, and just about a week ago. But other times the jet stream's been to our south, and that has allowed a lot of cold air to come in. And often we've been close enough to the storm track that follows the jet stream to throw in plenty of moisture with enough cold air present. We're now running roughly the fifth snowiest winter in New Brunswick in the last century.
Very interesting. So you're saying that we've been having really cold conditions, and a lot of people have been saying it's been colder than ever. Is this historically true, or has it just been? Have we had more mild winters in the past years?
Well, this is maybe our coldest winter since the winter of 2002-2003. And then you go back into the 90s and earlier. But overall, looking at the state thus far, it looks like these last 3 months, December, January, February, are going to come in about the 40th coldest of the last 120 years. So this is far from our coldest winter. It's just that in the last several decades, we've been having more warm winters than cold winters. New Jersey has perceptibly gotten warmer during the winter in the last 20 to 30 years.
Very interesting. So what was the longest streak of having a low under the freezing point, and how does this match up to other winters?
Yeah, we went primarily most of the month of February without the low being above freezing at night. Just over the last weekend when we had the quick meltdown, there was one night when it stayed above freezing. So we've had a lot of below freezing nights, and we went a stretch, I believe it was about 6 days in late January, where the high temperature didn't get above freezing for 6 consecutive days. But we've been in and out of it at times. We were very cold in early January, milded up, and then got cold again. And it's been that flip-flopping as this very pronounced wavy pattern in the jet stream has moved through the mid-Atlantic multiple times in the last 3 months.
Mm-hmm. So moving on from cold temperatures and more into precipitation, you mentioned this is one of the more snowy years out there. What was the largest snow event for New Jersey this winter?
Well, it was just several weeks ago when we had some areas pick up as much as 15 to 17 inches of snow. But we haven't had one real signature snowstorm this winter. We've just had a lot of events, 16 to 17 events, depending on how you count all the totals that are in, that have dropped at least 2 inches of snow somewhere in the state. Not everywhere. And 5 of those storms have had 10 inches or more of snowfall somewhere in the state. Again, nowhere has any place gotten more than, say, 2 of those storms. But there's just been this incessant parade of storms through the state. Sometimes the south has gotten it early winter, sometimes it's been the north. So no one signature event, but the storm we had about 2 weeks ago gave the most snow statewide for the winter.
Okay, so compared to other states, how are we doing relatively? Are we more snowier than them, colder than them, or have they been experiencing worse conditions?
There's been a lot of snow in the north central states into the Great Lakes in the northeast this winter. Chicago's had a lot of snow. Detroit's had a lot of snow. When you get out into the Rockies, they've been okay in Colorado, and they've gotten a few shots of wet or snowy weather in the Pacific Northwest. But as I think is made national news, the southwestern U.S. has had a very dry winter. Mm-hmm. California, the desert Southwest, which is normally their wettest or whitest season of the year, and they've really been hurting and on the short end. So that's the big weather story out west is drought. Mm-hmm. Here in the Midwest, the northern plains, and into the Northeast, it's been above average snowfall.
Very interesting. So also this past winter, you were able to be the weather authority for the Super Bowl. So would you like to talk about that a little bit?
Oh, we had a lot of fun with that. And there was a serious side to it, too. We were commissioned by the New Jersey Office of Emergency Management to give them an idea months ahead of time of what the probabilities are for rain and snow and wind and cold. Not to give them a weather forecast, but kind of the climatologic odds. So along with that, we put together a website called biggameweather.com. Couldn't call it Super Bowl. NFL might not like that. And with that, we put not only these historic climate statistics and probabilities, but we also linked to the National Weather Service's forecast, and we used our real-time observation network, the New Jersey Weather and Climate Network, to provide 5-minute updates of conditions as close to the stadium as Lyndhurst, just about 2 miles away. So we had real-time obs, the National Weather Service forecast, and a lot of history, primarily based on Newark Airport observations. And we got a lot of hits on that site. I got a kick. I was on NFL pre-game show on CBS Sports Network to talk about it. So it was a lot of fun, but it was also really quite useful to the authorities. We actually the impetus was there to put our weather observations into National Weather Service forecast offices that were gearing up for forecasting conditions on Super Bowl. So there's a real practical, useful part of it, but maybe also some of the betting community paid a visit to it before they placed their bets.
I'm sure they did. Well, thank you again very much, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you in the spring.
I'll be happy to talk to you anytime you want to come by.
All right. That's all the time we have for today. If you want to look at Dr. Robinson and his office's work online, you can visit climate.rutgers.edu/stateclim. Find all the information there. Until the next climate review, I'm Jack McCarty for RUTV's Weather Watcher. Have a great day.